Tuscarora this morning. It took me a long time. It's 9:30. Took me a long time to break camp. Of course, I slept till 7:45. Got in the tent about a little after 8. Pretty good sleep. Slept like a rock, actually. Lake is a little choppy from the southwest, just like they said. Up there's where the campsite is. You can see it's not an obvious campsite. It's actually right up in there. There's a slopey rock which kind of gives it away, but hard to tell. And you got to land way down here. It's the only flat spot. I had to throw a couple logs down there this morning to set the canoe on top of to keep the waves. I mean, it doesn't look like there's any waves at all, but they're rolling pretty good against the shore. Just keep the canoe from bashing on the rocks, and that held it just enough while I stood on the slippery slope to load the packs. But pretty quiet out here. Headed out around that point right over there, so I'm going to head over to the calmer area. Yeah, Tuscarora is a pretty lake. I kind of checking out those cliffs a little bit. I should have took some photos. Kind of neat cliffs. But onward to Crooked for sure, and Mora possibly, and if everything goes, it just keeps going well and it's nice, or no campsites or whatever, it could even go down to Little Sag. We'll see. And I just paddle over to take a look at this cliff. I guess I'm getting too close to it now. Pretty impressive, I thought, with the orange on it. This is Owl Lake. Pretty little rocky thing. But just a neat little, very flat cliff, which the wind's really getting me here. So doesn't look like there's any wind from here, but there sure is. It's afternoon on Monday. I'm taking up a campsite here on Mora. It was, yeah, the wind was pretty much right in my face the whole day there. Across Tuscarora wasn't too bad. You know, Owl wasn't too bad. It really wasn't too bad actually till I got to Mora here, but it was supposed to pick up in the afternoon. Doesn't look bad right now. It's probably like a steady, 8-10 miles an hour, but it is gusting pretty high. They said gusts to 25. I guess I kind of believe it. But this is a campsite here. I can show you on the map. There's a campsite right there on that island. That's where I'm at. Just for note, these portages are a lot of big boulder fields, very muddy, but not very long. This one is, the brush is growing back after the fire, the cavity fire that hit here. But again, a lot of big rocks and up and down, but fairly short. And that one's just a little tiny short one flooded on the one end. And both this one and this one are very rocky at the ends. A lot of boulders and stuff, but especially this one. That one really is tough. But if you don't want to scratch your canoe. And then in this channel between Terry and Mora is a big pile of rocks. The water just barely covers. The beavers have kind of dammed it. That one was tough to get over. But anyway, I have things. Whoops, tripped a little bit there. Trying out the foraging gear. I got a little spot set up here with a flat rock to make a table. Cooking myself some lunch at 2 o'clock. Plan to set up my tent right here. Really nice little flat spot. Drains well, all that stuff. But not usually the kind of campsite I like too much. Normally I like them to be, a little more elevated on a rock or something, but it does have a decent little private view. And this spot out to the water, and it was very clean. One of the things that really motivated me was when the wind was really bad at the time I landed, and this really pretty spot back here is another really nice tent pad. But right here was, I was able to land the canoe back here in this little spot. There's actually a little bit of sand in there. In the end, really wasn't too bad. It allowed me to pull the canoe up just a little bit, tie it on so I could check out the site. This is, you can see the burn area over there. About as far as the fire got. But very treed in a nice little cedar grove here. Quite a pretty spot actually. And the campsite up behind where I'm cooking and where my tent spot is going to be is a very large open spot. I can just go up over here. Kind of uphill. It's on the way to the latrine, but it gets used a lot, you can tell. Another really nice tent pad. I'm not setting back up on these ones in the woods because I want some breeze actually. It's in the 80s again today, pretty high 80s, but pretty big clearing, kind of all over the place here. Beautiful cedars, nice little bunch of rocks. The only bad thing about most of these tent pads back here is that the latrine is right here in the woods somewhere. Won't see it right now, but it's pretty much wide open. Really no privacy at all to these tent pads. So privacy from the campsite, but not these tent pads. And that's it. Go back and see if my dinner is warm. I got it soaking there, heating up. Well, good evening. It's about, just about 8 o'clock. I'm doing a little time-lapse photography here in camp, along with cooking a final meal for dinner before dark. I'm just going to walk around a little bit here while I talk, but anyway, so things are going pretty good. Very warm day, warmer than yesterday even somehow. I managed to get a couple of swims in, a little walk through the woods. Ate well. Camp is all set up. Did some exploring in this island. A few things like that. But watched some red squirrels. I guess they didn't get any great photos of them, but I tried. So anyway, I sent some messages home in the inReach. See, I think I got pretty much everything done. Put the canoe away. See, I guess the last thing I need to do is eat. And tonight I cooked one of my meals that I made myself. I like to do that. It's a little cheaper, and I get a little control over what I'm eating. I kind of can control the portions a little bit. In this case, I'm having a Knorr side. I kind of like those Knorr sides with some dehydrated chicken. Then I dehydrated some canned chicken. So, without further ado, I'm back in camp here, and then what I'll do is I'll show you what I'm going to eat. Turn the camera on. Alright, so this is a little bit of grape drink. I like this little table I made, working out really well. And here in my cozy, I hardly have enough room on my table. Ooh, that's really warm. This titanium kettle is garlic parmesan chicken. It's a Knorr side with dehydrated chicken. Now it's rehydrated. And I'll give that a shot. Well, I'm also doing a little time-lapse photography over here of that scene over there as the sun set across the hillside. Pretty cool. Well, I'm hungry, kind of tired too, and about time for bed. See you later.